Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning, everybody. Sneaking in at the last minute as usual, right, Johnny?
Sneaking in the back door.
That's how we do it, man. That's how we do
That's
it.
right.
Sneaking in with the attorneys, sneaking out with the attorneys.
Yeah.
That's a good show. I enjoyed. I caught the first half on the way in. Yeah, those guys always got some good stuff for us. We got big Chuck Cefalu in here from Ameristar Financial Corp. Making sure I get that right.
Welcome, Chuck. And this is your first visit.
Right? No. This is Chuck's second visit, right? Chuck?
Really?
Visit, yes.
How could I forget?
Yeah.
When was that?
You have him here today.
Well, Chuck, we did a pre-show
Chuck.
meeting early in the week. He's like, it was only a couple weeks ago that I was on before, and I was like, yeah, maybe. I looked at the show notes. It was May.
Yeah, it was May.
Time flies. He came in with Sean. Sean Moody.
Oh, yes, of course. That's right.
And we got into a lot. We got into the alternative financing topic for investment real estate, and we didn't tackle what we wanted to. So Chuck and I wrote a pretty good show on DSCR loans,
right?
Which could sound a little intimidating to the layperson.
Great topic, though.
It's a good topic, and we want to make this kind of investment for. Listen, if you've invested in real estate before, you're familiar with DSCR loans. Okay, we're going to define that in the first half of the show, and then tell you how you can use that, where you can find properties for it. But we want to make the show understandable for people, because financing can get a little intimidating. There's a lot of terms and industry jargon that gets thrown around, and we use it daily, right, Chuck? Because
for us it's second nature, because that's all that we do.
Right.
For other people, they find it just really challenging. So we try and take the pain out of it and break it down.
Right. So it's almost like a second language. So we're going to be your translators today, guys. So again, that's the whole point of the show. The show is to bring our listeners the most up-to-date real estate information, tips, tricks, hacks, alternative financing for investment properties. That's what we do. Chuck, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been in finance for 35 years.
35 years.
Right.
I've been doing this for 20. So, between the two of us, and John's been listening to these shows forever, we're going to bring you some good information today. So first we're going to hear from our sponsors, take a quick break, and then Chuck and I are going to get into it and talk about DSCR loans.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hey, it's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at the Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. I love that one. JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we are back sitting here with Big Chuck Cefalu from Ameristar, and we're gonna dive right into DSCR loans. So Chuck, this is a great Well, first of all, this is a call-in show, guys. So 518-476-5900. Now, listen, if you got a call, you have a question you want to call in, we're going to save the questions to the second half of the show. So feel free to call in, but just to let you know, we're probably not going to put you on the air until the second half because Chuck and I don't want to get cut off, and we kind of want to let this flow so people can understand.
And we may answer their question, obviously, in some of the things
in the conversation itself. So, Chuck, let's define DSCR. Exactly what it is.
DSCR.
Yep.
So DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio.
Yep.
And really what that is, it's an equation that we use. We look at an investment property, and we'll get the total annual income, and we'll divide that by the total annual expenses.
Okay.
And what do I mean by expenses? The principal on your loan, the interest, taxes and insurance, and, if you have a homeowners association, that HOA fee.
Okay.
And that works out to a ratio. And what we look at is we're really looking at the property and the income that's being given off of the property to determine what we'll do for a loan versus the individual borrower.
Okay.
And that's big in the commercial lending world as well. So we're just looking to say, hey, does this property have ample income being generated and dividing it by, the expenses? And they're pretty much looking for a ratio of about 1.2.
Okay.
They will go down actually as low as 1.1. But when you get down that low, really, at that point, your expenses, your annual income equals your expenses, and it's like a break even.
Okay.
So the higher the DSCR ratio, obviously that means that there's much more cash flow being given off of that property.
Okay.
And from a lender standpoint, you'd like to have that higher ratio.
Yep.
Just to have a buffer if you then have like a vacancy or something and that income goes down.
Your safety net.
Your safety net.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1.2 times.
So 1.2. So if you got the annual rents and you divide it by the expenses and then just say it equals 1.2.
Yep.
Okay. As your expenses go up, that ratio would start dropping to 1.1 or 1.
Okay.
So we plug it into our system and say, okay, where are they at with their debt service coverage ratio? Mm-hmm. Now, if the ratio is too low, then that means you would get approved for a lower loan. We're going to have to drop that, that debt expense to change that ratio.
And that can lead to a higher down payment for the borrower.
It could be a higher down payment, or a lot of people that actually own real estate that is appreciated and have a lot of equity. They come to us and they want to cash out because they want to get that money to parlay it into other real estate. Mm-hmm. So in that instance, we're looking at the appraised value and, that can affect what the final loan amount is. But later on in the program, I'll say how we can maximize that to get you the most out of that property.
Right. Okay. So once you guys determine this 1.2, I guess, line in the sand, right? In terms of the loan itself going through a more, I guess, traditional process, what else do you look at that makes these loans so much more attractive?
Here's the thing: these DSCR loans are like the most powerful real estate investor loan that really exists.
Okay.
You and I walk into a bank or credit union in a traditional institution, they're going to say, give me an application, full-blown application, disclose all your assets, all your liabilities. They're going to want to verify stuff. They typically want financials. They want tax returns.
Certificates.
They want your unborn child's name, all of that. And they want you to verify those assets. You're sending me statements and doing that. And that whole process can be very cumbersome. And if you're self-employed and your object is to write off and depreciate and write off all this to show the least amount of income to pay, you want to reduce your income tax liability. Yeah. Well, that concept is counterintuitive to when you walk into a bank.
Yeah.
They want to see as much income on the bottom line as possible.
Right.
So it is much more difficult for a real estate investor that has maybe a lot of mortgages or a self-employed person to get a loan.
Yeah.
Now you come over to the DSCR side, and this is made for you.
Okay.
Because we're really looking at the property and the income being given off on the property. We're not looking at your debt-to-income ratio. We're not asking you for financial statements. We're not asking you for tax returns. So, I mean, this is a dream, for a real estate investor.
Okay, so with that being said, what's the borrower got to have outside of
it's quite simple. We deal with new investors to very experienced investors. We take like a 2-page application that's really more personal information and say, hey, we're trying to assess where you're at. Do you own one investment property? Do you own a whole portfolio? We do a soft credit pull. We don't even do a hard credit pull and actually ding your credit by a couple points. And then at that point, we really focus on the property.
Okay.
We're going to ask you, okay, what's this property worth? It's obviously we do get an appraisal on these properties, but the real powerful thing with the DSCR is when somebody buys a property and it's distressed, they fix it up, and now they've created this forced appreciation in a very short period of time, 3 months, most of the time 3, sometimes it's 6. We now can do an appraisal on that after repaired value and basically get a cash out refi or rate and term and get all your money out of that property, parlay it into the next property. Because now that property's been stabilized, you've rented it out,
right.
It's meeting the debt service coverage ratios that we needed to, and you're just parlaying and doing this over and over. And that's how, investors are building these massive portfolios of real estate.
Now, is there a unit minimum? In other words,
we do. It's single family homes.
It is single.
Oh yeah.
How could it be with single family? There's really no cash flow.
Well, I mean, listen, rents are at an all-time high in the United States.
That's fair.
And there are. I mean, look at hedge funds that have in just various investment companies that have bought massive amounts of single family homes and they rent them out. So single family homes.
So from a basic investor standpoint, like let's just say, I mean, obviously I have experience, so I can't play dumb to this because I understand a lot of this. But
you have a lot of experience.
So, but let's take a person that's like, hey man, like I keep hearing this about investing in real estate, these trends, everything's going on. I want to build my wealth, and they find a single family home. How can they come to you and say, Chuck, here's the property. It's a little rough around the edges, but we're getting a good deal on it. How do you finance?
So where there's a renovation and work that needs to be done on the property, our company will do some interim financing that basically says, listen, I need some money to acquire the property, and then I need some renovation money. And we do that both. We'll give them the acquisition, the renovation money. Now they've stabilized this property. It's they've increased the value to where it is. Now they're going to rent it out. Okay. They're going to get a 1-year lease, with their tenant. And with that in hand, they can come to us and say, now I need permanent financing. I want 30-year financing, fixed rate. Mm-hmm. A lot of these banks and credit unions now, they want to do like a 20 or 25-year amortization, like a 5-year balloon or a 10-year balloon. Well, you're out there looking for financing in another 5 to 10 years, whereas you want 30-year financing fixed rate.
Yeah.
And there's some attractive rates. There's a lot of money in the marketplace now that's chasing these and wanting to do this. I was on the phone the other day. Massive amounts of money from Wall Street plowing into these DSCR loans and insurance companies portfolio these. Mm-hmm. And that's where, there's just a lot more liquidity.
Yeah.
Years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you didn't hear about these loans.
Yeah.
No one knew about these loans.
But they existed.
But it was not well publicized. People didn't know about it. Now it's mainstream.
Yeah.
When you say DSCR, and if you're a real estate investor, now you're like, oh, I heard about those.
Yeah.
And that's just what we totally focus on.
Do you think this tightens up the market for like we keep saying, like, hey man, there's no inventory. The single family homes are getting snatched up. They're not going back on the market though, right? A lot of these people they're like you're saying, they're fixing, renting, refinancing.
Yeah.
And it's causing,
it really is, the opportunity as I see it now. I mean, everyone's like, well, we can keep on building.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what the cost of materials are.
It's
so
ridiculous.
There's really an opportunity in terms of renovating properties and getting those back into it. But there's a limited amount of inventory now, and that's obviously, reducing the amount of sales that are out there in available properties.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of these instant buyers too as well, that are making cash offers on people's property, then sitting and holding on them too. So it definitely has tightened things up, I think. But in the same breath, like you said, the whole investment game is just
We get
nuts
so
right
many
now.
calls now, even from out of the area, with investors just have such a hungry appetite to acquire the properties, the single families, the multifamilies, the Airbnbs, the short-term rentals. I mean, those are like on steroids.
Yeah. And finding the property is the trick. We're going to talk about how to find the properties after the break. We're going to finish our conversation with Chuck. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we are back. Man, hot topic here, DSCR loans. We're sitting here with Big Chuck Cefalu over at Ameristar Financial. So Chuck is the investor's mortgage lender. This guy has got all the products that you need if you're thinking about investing in real estate. You've been interested in fixing and flipping a house or looking at duplexes, fourplexes, or even bigger multifamily. Chuck has got the money and the financial. Chuck, where's the money come from? I mean, I know Ameristar is a private company, so how do you guys...
We have a mortgage investment fund, Ameristar Capital Income Fund.
Okay.
So we have accredited investors, a lot of doctors, chiropractors, professionals, tech people that invest in that fund.
Mm-hmm. What do they call that? Office money? What's the term?
Well, you're talking like a family office.
Family office, yeah.
Manage money for a wealthy family.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a family office. We actually have a fund, can raise capital in all 50 states, filed with the SEC and all that. And we have investors that are looking for income.
Yep.
So they put their money into this fund, and then we re-lend the fund out. We're here in Boston Spa, New York. We're local, very approachable. We meet with investors on a daily basis to discuss their needs. And, we have, obviously a lot of capital at our disposal to, put out there in the marketplace.
So if somebody calls your office, how's the process work if they're...
someone will call our office. A lot of times they'll see us at a local real estate investor association meeting.
Okay.
So they've seen us, and we're a sponsor of a local one here. Capital Region Real Estate Investor Association. So they'll see me every month, and I'll pop up and tell them about what we're doing. And we're a relationship-based lender.
Okay.
Once somebody comes to us and we sit down and what do you have or what are you trying to accomplish, we kind of create a nice roadmap for them. And once we close our first deal, that's one of many.
Right.
And I have a husband and wife team. We've done 16 transactions with them, and they had 4 or 5 children. They homeschool their children. Really, just great people,
nice.
Hard-working people.
Yep.
And they're looking to just over time build a portfolio, fix and flip properties, obviously acquire some multifamilies, and we've been a major strategic partner for them, and right there. And I mean, we fund them very quickly. Fastest funder out there. 48 hours we can fund as quickly as.
So this family that acquired, built some wealth through real estate. I mean, 16 properties over the course of a couple of years, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
How did they start?
Well, in their instance, they started with the fix and flip.
Okay.
Now they want to continue to do fix and flip, but now they want to start holding on to some multifamily.
Okay.
How did they start? I think they saw something on Facebook or something. And
but were they like school teachers, like just regular people?
Regular people. I think the gentleman used to be with UPS. The wife used to be in healthcare. They came up here and they took the plunge and said, I want to start in real estate.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're in real estate, you need to have access to these funds.
Yeah.
So they got in touch with us. We hit it off. Sat down, and one transaction literally is equated to 16 transactions and more.
Yeah,
and the sky's the limit. And they have such a process that they've put in place.
Right,
and they listen. I mean, they're really good. I'm like, if you do this and this, here's how we're going to maximize the value. Here's how we're going to get you as much money. And it's just great.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to success is being coachable and stepping off the ledge. And I think that's where a lot of people, I mean, we get calls all the time, we're looking to invest in real estate, and, I go through the process with them, and you never hear from them again. Then you get the people that jump all over it, and, you give them their first taste of it, and
I think, we see a lot of people that buy these real estate programs, and when they get out and after they've heard the theory, then it's concept and then reality. Yeah. If anything, we help them and push them.
Yeah.
Let's get your first deal underneath your belt.
What are you thinking of, John? What's the matter?
No, I see the phone ringing, and we know who it is.
Oh, we got. So, but that being said, though, Chuck, once they get a taste for it, like, I sold a 2-family to a guy out of Jersey that started investing in Albany like maybe 5-6 years ago. I mean, he's up to 40-something properties and 140 units, and he's using the BRRRR method, the BRRRR method.
Exactly.
I got 4 R's in there for you.
So, I had to correct you on that. So, just for our listeners, the BRRRR method, it's an acronym. It stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat.
Right.
And it's a concept where you can buy a distressed property, fix it up, have the, obviously, now forced appreciation, put a tenant in this property now. You got a 1-year lease. We've maximized the value. Come over to our company, refinance that, get all your money out of that property, and then some. And a lot of times put money in your pocket.
Yep.
And then we repeat that process. You get that fund, those funds, and now you parlay it into the next, real estate opportunity.
Should we take a caller, Chuck?
Sure.
Let's do it. Who we got, Johnny?
All right, caller, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Quick question.
Who's this?
Good morning.
How you doing?
It's your dad.
It's your dad.
What's up?
I'm curious. On a triple net lease,
can
you do a loan, that type of a loan on a triple net lease, like, say, for instance, on $2 million? So
is the person the property owner that has the triple net lease, or you're talking about the leaseholder himself?
No, he wants to buy a triple net lease building.
Oh, can you? So if you're buying, let's say he's buying like a
with a triple
Taco
net,
Bell,
with a triple net lease, you're typically talking a commercial property. In that instance, that would not be a property that would be suitable for this DSCR loan.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is more residential oriented real estate. Okay, with tenants, not commercial tenants. Actual people. We do some mixed use properties where we could have a storefront on the first floor and apartments above, but you're not going to get like a Walgreens or some triple net lease and an actual credit, tenant. That's not what that product's intended for.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but there's more traditional commercial financing for triple net lease.
Oh, sure. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And what type of a down payment would you have to have on your loan?
On the DSCR loans. So a lot of times on the DSCR loans, the people are refinancing out of an existing situation. So obviously, we're obviously looking to get an appraisal on that, and there's enough equity in the property where they're not coming out of pocket. But if you were to actually buy a stabilized property from day one, you'd have to put 20% down then.
20%. Okay.
20%.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, we appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right. Well, that actually answered one of the questions we had on the list, Chuck. Was down payment, LTV.
Yeah. What I see most people doing,
and is that borrower strength related too, though?
Well, again, we do a soft credit pull, and we're not looking at the debt to income. We're not looking at their income. we're looking at the property. But if I had to choose, we do DSCRs on purchases, but then that person has to come out of pocket. Where I see the product where most people are using it is refinancing out of a property that they've fixed up or they've owned.
Yeah.
And now any closing costs or anything that comes out of the equity of the property is not coming, they're not writing a check coming to a closing.
We got one more caller.
Okay, we have one more caller. Joe is on the line, but we have to take a break here. Joe, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to ask you to hang on. We have a couple of minutes to take a break. We'll be
right back to you, Joe. Just going to hear from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Okay.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we're back. Chuck Cefalu and I, Maristar Financial. We got a caller, Joe. Joe, what's the question, big guy?
Hey, real quick, someone that has a lower credit score, lower than 640, do you guys work, or how does that play in part with the DSCR loans?
Great question.
Great question. We obviously deal with, all credit scores from low to high. When you start getting into the lower 600s, what will happen is they may they'll decrease the loan to value. There's kind of like these buckets, and we'll go all the way up to 80%. But I will tell you what we do is if we have somebody that says 640 and we want to really maximize what they're going to get out of that property, we'll look at their credit report and advise them in about a 30, 45-day period of time. We help them get a boost. We had one investor, we actually lent him some money to retire his personal credit, and then it raised his credit substantially, and then he did a refinance, and we got him a much higher loan to value for that.
Yeah, Joe, listen, if you call 957-SOLD, 957-7653, you go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com, just call the office. We can put you in touch with Chuck, and we're going to give Chuck some contact information, but we have credit repair specialists. Like, credit's not really an issue.
We work on it. We absolutely get that credit up and look at it. Is it due to credit utilization? Is it due to, hey, I had some late pays?
Yep. Yeah, Joe, thanks for the call. Sorry to cut you off, but we got to finish the show. So
thank you, Joe, for the call.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chuck, give them contact information. How can they get a hold of you? And
our office number 518-880-2780. And again,
I like the web address, Fix and Flip.
We have fixandflipmortgages.com. So fix and then the letter N, flipmortgages.com.
Perfect. So that's how you get a hold of Chuck. Chuck, thanks for coming on again, man. I want to have you on again. We got to keep doing this because we like
appreciate it.
Keep running out of time. But next week, you guys are going to tune in. We got Kim Salerno Law. She's going to talk everything real estate law related to keep your butt out of hot water. See you later, guys. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.